It is the most earthbreaking, ground-shaking, but never media show money taking, the man, the myth, the legend, the most electrifying villain in all of YouTube entertainment today, Gerald Zada. Today, I'm here to talk to you guys about the new action comedy. I've seen two of them, Love Hurts and this one, Novocaine. And I can tell you right now, I didn't do a review on Love Hurts, so obviously this is the one that I like better. I'll probably do a review on that later. But Novocaine is the story is a love story, and it stars Jack Quaid, Amber Mid Thunder, and Ray Nicholson. So, what is Novocaine about? Novocaine is about a seemingly ordinary guy who has a very unique disease where he does not feel any pain. He falls in love with this girl. Girl gets kidnapped and wacky shenanigans ensue. So what makes this movie so good? Well, let me get into my positives, I'll get into some negatives, and then I'll get into my overall score of the movie. So the positives of this movie. Everybody in this movie does a pretty decent job with their acting. The real highlights here is Dennis Quaid and Amber Mid Thunder. They have the love story going on. So, an important thing about action comedies or horror romance, rom coms, whatever the hell you want to call them, right? With an action rom com, your two leads have to have good chemistry. And Amber Mid Thunder and Dennis, or I want to say Dennis Quaid, it's Jack Quaid, Dennis Quaid's son, if you guys don't know. But Jack Quaid, they have amazing chemistry. Another good thing about Jack Quaid, if you guys are a fan of The Boys, Jack Quaid has this thing about him. He has this everyday innocent guy caught in wacky shenanigans kind of look to him. So, hey, what's up? Good to see you, Jane Creek. Welcome to my non-spoiler review on Novocaine. So, Jack Quaid has this everyday normal guy look to him. And I think that in a movie like this, what works with the comedy and the physical comedy that's in this movie is that he has the right type of appearance for a guy who's put into an extraordinary situation and has one unique thing about him that makes him kind of stand out. What's up, Carmel? Good to see you here. And so I think the biggest thing about this movie that really makes this probably so far one of my favorite action comedies. Well, I can put it in action or comedy, but what makes this movie really good for me is the physical comedy really lands in this movie. There's a lot of funny scenes. Now, I'm not going to lie, there's some gross stuff. This is an R-rated movie, and there's some scenes in here where Jack Quaid is not John Wick in this movie. He's not the typical action hero. He starts off not really able to do much and kind of grows and learns over time. And so his only thing in this movie, the only thing that Jack Quaid has going for him is he does not feel pain. No matter what happens, hence the name of the movie, Jack Quaid cannot feel any pain. So when this shit starts, he's basically going into these situations where he has an advantage over these people because he can't feel anything. This does not mean he's invincible in this movie. He can die. It's just he can't feel the pain. He has some kind of a disease where he doesn't feel anything. So, and it's a real thing. I looked it up, like something to do with the nerve endings or something like that. They don't work properly. So he can't feel when he's being punched or when he walks in the shit, and it makes for a lot of comedic moments. Now, Amber Mid Thunder, I've seen her in Prey. She was in Legion, which is one of my favorite shows. She is also very good in this. And once again, the chemistry these two have, remember, in the beginning of the movie, somewhat, and this isn't spoilers, it's these two just kind of meet and have this innocuous meeting. They go out on a couple of dates, and it's thrown into this situation where they have to build this chemistry really quickly to where he would go through these great lengths to get her back. And I think it really works because they have a good back and forth. A lot of the practical effects are good. There is some CGI in here that I did notice, but for the most part, a lot of this looks like practical effects. So that was all good. And a lot of the jokes and physical comedy in this movie is hilarious. Um, so a lot of that works for me. Now, the negatives of this movie, and there's only a couple here for me. There might be more for people who aren't into this kind of comedy, but a lot of the gags were repeated a couple of times. There's a long-standing joke in this. Like I said, this is non-spoilers, but you'll know what it is when you see this movie. That gets paid off at the very ending, but it gets repeated, and it's kind of annoying until you see where the joke is going. And then you're like, oh, I get why you were writing this joke for so long, because there is a payoff at the end, towards the end of the movie at this one particular joke. So there's a couple of jokes that didn't really land for me. The ending was good, but I don't know if I was expecting more or whatever else, but it's fine. It's an action comedy. I'm not expecting like a Die Hard scene where he jumps off of Nagatomi Plaza and all that shit. So, I mean, I get it. I felt like the ending could have had a bit more punch to it. Hey, good to see you here, Carmen. But overall, this movie in general was a very big surprise. Now, my most anticipated action movie was going to be Love Hurts. Unfortunately, I think this movie does what Love Hurts tries to do, but a lot better. And I think it's because I found the main character and their motives and their reasons for doing what they did, and the little quirk that they have, I found it more interesting than I did in Love Hurts. Unfortunately, I did not like that movie, and I'll probably do a review on it. But comparing it to this one, they're both kind of the same movie. They both have somebody who falls in love with someone, and then their wacky shenanigans ensue, and they're trying to get the person they love back or out of the situation that they're in. And I think that this movie does that premise a lot better. And this actually so far might be one of my favorite action movies in this year. And I've seen the ratings and I don't understand the really low ratings. Like I saw somebody gave it a 6. I was like, what the fuck movie were you watching? Unless the humor, like I said, if the humor in this movie doesn't click for you, you might not like this movie. There's a lot of physical gags. There's a lot of different jokes that might not land with everyone. So I guess comedy is subjective in that sense. But the quality of this movie is very good. It's a very well shot. It's very well acted. The fight choreograph is very cool. I think Jack Quaid is building this kind of reputation, and he's sticking to these roles where he's playing a certain niche, and he's very good at what he does. And no different in this movie. Like 90% of the jokes with him made me laugh because he's very a matter of fact about it. He doesn't like play it as a joke. It's just kind of like it's watching somebody who tells a joke and doesn't realize they're telling a joke, so it makes it more funny. That's kind of like his personality in this movie. And so, yeah, there's not really much negatives I could say about this. And the positives, it's a pretty straightforward action, comedy, rom-com kind of a thing. So if you like action, if you want a movie with a good bit of romance in it, and that's, I think is super funny, definitely check out Novocaine. It's a really good movie. Unfortunately I wanted to see it in the theaters, but I didn't get a chance to. I've been a little bit behind on going to the movies to see shit because I honestly don't have time. Go figure, I saw fucking Snow White there, which was a goddamn waste of time. Go check out my review for Snow White. But this movie was definitely fun. I think it's it's good at the romantic comedy angle. I'd even think like you could see this with a significant other and you and her can get some fun out of this because there is a lot of jokes I feel like designed for the ladies, as far as some of the lines in particular by Amber Midthunder. There's a couple of funny references they make about how women are always kidnapped and the guy has to go save them. And this movie kind of does a cool little flip on that without being obnoxious about it. There's a couple of cool little things that they do that I thought was clever. and it really makes this movie stand out above the rest. So it might be going a little bit high, and I'm going to go high because like I said, I like the comedy and I like rom-coms. And I like that they took action and rom-com and smashed it together. And I got to talk about Hard Eyes because that's another one I like. But I'm going to give this movie an 8.5. I was really close to 9 or 10 territory. It's just the ending, and you'll understand what I mean. There's a couple of things in the ending that were like really, for a movie with a wacky premise, it was very grounded. And then something happens at the ending where I'm like, okay, I don't know, like, if that makes sense in the rules that they established. So it kind of took me out of the movie for a bit, but it wasn't enough to destroy the whole movie for me. It was just like, with a movie like this and the concept that you have, you could only go so far and stretch believability. Because remember, this guy's not invincible. He just can't feel pain. Like, he could die. If he gets stabbed in the neck and bleeds out, he's the normal dude who just can't feel pain. So there's some scenes in here where I'm like, all right, man, like, at the very least, you fucking pass out or go into shock. Like, even if your body doesn't register pain, you're going to have like a literal, like, your body will shut down. Like, you can't like control that. Like, and I know I'm reading too much into it, but it was just jarring because they had made it so grounded right up until a point, and then the ending was kind of balls out action. And I get it, like, for your final ending, you want it to be crazy, but I just had a hard time buying it. But with that little nitpick out of the way, this is an 8 out of 10. I'm really glad I saw this movie. And to be honest, I did not know about this film until much later. And so I decided to pop it on the old VOD and watch it here at home. And it was just an amazing movie. I really liked it. And honestly, if nothing else comes out better, this is probably going to be one of my first movies on my top 10 movies of this year. I really fucking love this movie. I really think it's got a great premise. I really would like to see like a part 2 or 3 if they decide to go that route. I mean, they could set this up for like a little franchise, I think. But this was a great movie. It's a fun watch. So check out Novocaine. It's on video on demand, and I think it's still playing in a couple of theaters. I'd recommend seeing this in the theater just because of the crazy shit that happens in this movie. Seems like it'd be better on a bigger screen. But yeah, this was a really great movie. So check out Novocaine. And what are we waiting for God's sakes? Hey, Zod, when is the wedding? Oh, yeah. Just a little heads up. With me and Bitchy are gonna wait 2 years. We gotta. Weddings are expensive, so it's money. We want to make sure we got enough money saved up. You only get to marry somebody once, so I got a couple of plans. I don't want to say them because Bitchy watches my channel, but I got a few things that I have planned out, and weddings are fucking expensive. Thank God we don't have a lot of people who are going to come to the wedding, but don't worry, I'll post it for you guys. We'll kind of post it as we get closer. We're thinking of doing a blog to chronicle our wedding journey. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know, because Bitchy was actually thinking about we're thinking of doing a separate channel, going through getting ready for the wedding and prepping ourselves. It's just kind of a blog of all of the events that we're going to be doing leading up to the actual wedding, as you do as a YouTuber. So don't worry, we're getting to it. We waited 6 years to get engaged, so although I am growing a little bit older, maybe I should get on that age. But thank you everybody for watching. Really enjoy having you guys on. I'm still working on the Sons of Anarchy video. I also have a video coming that I'm gonna do a spoiler breakdown of Daredevil episodes 3 and 4, probably 5 and 6. Kind of the halfway point, and tell you guys what I think, which, spoilers, it's a fucking great show. Watch it. I'm going to be doing a breakdown on Reacher Season 3 and a breakdown on the Season 3 of Invincible and all of my thoughts on that. So I got a lot of videos I'm working on. There's a shit ton of movies that I seen. I actually seen this movie Ash that came out in the film festivals, but I got a chance to watch it with Aaron Paul. It's a brand new sci-fi horror movie, so I will be talking about that sometime, probably tomorrow. I'm just putting together some more details on that movie, exactly how I feel about it. It's interesting, and a couple of more things coming out. So if you guys like that all the stuff, let me know. Let me know if you guys have seen Novocaine, or what's your favorite action comedy rom-com, or rom-coms. Does anybody like rom-coms? I used to fucking love them. Anyways, thank you everybody for watching, and as always, remember, yeah, I'm sorry, Kerbal, but we gotta make sure we got the money saved. But thank you guys for watching. As always, remember, there is only one rule here in the Fandom Zone. Kneel before General Zod.